Good day. I started this video on mid of November trying to salvage a little bit of the onions that I grew from seeds. I had to put this mesh in top of the garden bed because something was having fun with my onions and taking them out. So I'm gonna see if this works for me because this is the second time that I'm gonna plant them. Let's see. I'm using a little bit of help from a bamboo stick so I don't have to bend my back or my knees in there to make the holes. Always trying to stay as healthy as I can. I am planting them about 4-6 inches apart, and probably I'm going to thin them, based on which ones are growing better than the others, and see if we can use them as green onions. So guys, this is what I have to do to be able to plant in here. So I'm gonna finish planting this bed and let's see if I'm able to get the whatever creature that is interfering with my gardening to just stop visiting me. I'm not sure if you see that corner in there. They got in there and took out all my onions that were planted in that corner. This bed was amended back early autumn when I planted the rutabaga, so I'm not going to put a lot of amendment on it. Fertilize my plants every 2-3 weeks, so I'm not going to greatly amend this soil. I'm just going to move it around, do a little weeding, put a little bit more of compost in top of it, and start planting my onions. There's a lot of wind, so I try to compact a little bit the compost so I don't lose it. I make my holes with a bamboo stick so I don't have to bend my knees, which are already damaged. Make the holes about 4 inches apart, and then after I will thin the onions if needed. I planted all the onions by seed, and I'm splitting them into little seedlings so I can plant them. I'm not sure what's going on, but there's a lot of sirens again. So onions should be planted really shallow. I try to cover all the roots and plant each one of them in one of the holes. If at the end the onion starts to grow, the bulb starts to grow, I just come in with a little instrument and remove the dirt from it so it can grow more. Onions are heavy feeders, so you need to be sure that you keep them watered and fertilized the whole time that you're growing them. The first phase should be, a lot of nitrogen, so all the greens are developed, so you can have a bigger onion. You need to develop your greens so you have a bigger onion after. Each one of the leaves will represent a ring in the onion. So many leaves, many rings in the onion, and that will represent that your onion is going to be bigger. I'm going to finish all this and let you see what I was able to do. These are Savannah Sweet from House Tools. So I finished the onions that were in this pot. At least I know that these all are Savannah Sweet from House Tools. But then I have, how my rice. It's just what happens in my life. I lost the tag on this ones. I have no idea. But they're either onions or leeks. So I'm going to plant them on this same bed.
see what happens. These are the leeks that I planted. I think you're gonna see it in the same video before this, but these are the ones that I planted and really skinny, but it's been really cold, so they're alive. Let's see. And these are the Texas Legend onions that I planted. This was a different way. You're also gonna see it before in this video, hopefully, if I didn't delete the. And they're looking a little bit better than the others. In here, in this square or rectangle, I'm planning to plant the elephant garlic. I have only, I think, 6 or 7 cloves only, so it's gonna be my spot for the elephant garlic. Anything else will be planted around it. It's gonna be ugly for the camera and worse for the video, but hopefully they will grow. So my intention is to just split them from here and plant them each one in the little marks that I made. Let me get them there and let's plant onions. The issue is that if these are leeks, which is possible and I suspect due to the way they are, they should be planted really deep. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant them deep, and if they're onions, I will just take the dirt out from around it. Let's see. Guys, for me it's very difficult to do this because I have to do it seated down. I cannot bend my knees enough to be able to do this. So I know that the camera is gonna be moving because I don't have a lot of alternatives, but I will keep trying to grow as much food as I can until God permits. When it's too far from me that I cannot get in there, sit it down or reaching, I will use different tools that I have and on my favor and try to make it work. You're alive. There's no, and you can move up just a little bit. That's no excuse. You can grow your own food. This has to be very delicate because you don't want to destroy the roots. Just be delicate. Think that you're using your hands. Now you know why my rows are not uniform. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a little bit more dirt in there. Maybe that is not deep enough for what needs to happen. I've never done this before. I hope I'm doing it right. Never planted any kind of garlic before. I hope this works. That's what I'm going to do. Put a little bit more compost on top of it. Then the garlic is going to be covered. Hopefully they grow. I have other garlic to experiment in my refrigerator. But those I'm going to plant another day. Guys, these are the onions that I planted about a week ago and used the mesh, try to deter the critters from getting in here. It looks like it's working. You see some holes, but I was never able to plant those. They're too small for me to plant yet, the ones that go in here. So they will be planted on a later day. So it looks like it's working against the critters or pests or whatever you want to call them.